morning, whatever time you're watching this. Welcome to the first official Around the Ropes YouTube exclusive for 2023. I'm your host, John. As always, I am joined with Carl and Kosta. Guys, what's going on?
Everything's good, boss. Everything's good. Just
What's
waiting
up?
to get to the news of what this exclusive is about. So yeah.
Oh, yes. Now, if you've been watching us for our run, you know one of the biggest stories we covered in the summer of last year was about Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And, well, I didn't think his ugly head was going to return. And apparently news broke earlier today that not only is his ugly head going to return, it's causing a bit of a rift. And in case you've been living under a rock and don't know what I'm talking about, there was a report coming out earlier today from the Wall Street Journal stating that Vince McMahon wants to make a comeback to the WWE.
Oh shit.
Basically told...
It's also reported on ESPN.
Oh, yeah. Basically, to put it, because there was a lot of legal terminology in it, from what I read, to put it in the brass tacks, he already said he would not support any renewal of any media purchase or any media sale if he is not the one who's the head honcho.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And the problem is Raw and SmackDown's contracts are set to come up soon, and so is NXT. Basically, none of them would get renewed unless Vince takes back control of the company.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's take control back of the company, but I know for a fact that if they allow him to come back, he's gonna try and stick his nose in every friggin' thing. Everything. And we're gonna go back to what we had for the last a few years, which is not good wrestling.
Kosta, I look at it this way. You look at what Vince did. Now, mind you, everybody says what they do about Vince, and I will not take that away. The one thing I do give him credit for, though, is he is the reason why we have wrestling right now. For what he did back in the 80s.
I said that too, yeah. I said that too. But I'm saying for the past few years, he's been horrible.
Kosta, I've read reports that have said that nobody in the WWE offices want him back.
Of course they don't. Of course they don't.
He sent 2 letters and both of them got denied.
Because the product right now
to be
is
reinstated.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, the product now
is so good.
It's much better. When was the last time we had a rematch on Monday Night Raw?
The last time Vince McMahon was involved, which was like July, whatever.
And here's one even better for you. Last year was the first time they ever did $1 billion in 1 year.
Yeah.
To me, Vince was so set in his ways because in Vince's eyes, there is no other wrestling company out there other than WWE. And second off, Vince still thinks this is 1983 or 1984. And that Hulk Hogan and freaking Macho Man could have come walking through the door.
Hell no, man.
Do you think if Vince was running this company that you would have had Carl Anderson just competing at Wrestle Kingdom?
Nope.
Do you think you would have seen half these guys coming back? Yeah, with Noah.
Oh! By the way, that was an incredible match. By the way, just to put that over there, that was an incredible match.
It was a very good match, but Vince, I did just read something before we started recording that Vince did say something that he wouldn't interfere with WWE management.
That's a lie. I wouldn't believe anything that comes out of his mouth, man.
No.
I know that, but I wouldn't believe anything that comes out of his mouth, man.
But you got to realize WWE may not have an option here at this point. Now leads to another thing, though.
What?
He wants to sell the company because he's set to make a boatload of money.
Yeah. I know.
Yep.
If he sells it to Disney...
That's what I said, too, yeah.
Do you realize he's going to destroy what he built? Because to be a part of Disney, okay, you're basically going to have to make Monday Night Raw and SmackDown G-rated.
Yeah, no blood, no anything.
And you can't do that, in my opinion. to me, so what you're telling me now is you can't have thumbtacks anymore. You can't show blood anymore if they go that route.
No, exactly.
And I can see it already. They're going to do something hokey where all of a sudden they're going to have one night, they're going to have a special GM, and it's going to be Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
To me, it's Vince McMahon comes back. WWE might as well just go out of business. That's essentially what's going to happen.
It's going to be like, this is how it's going to be like. It's going to be like those NFL games that they show on Nickelodeon now. You know how they show those NFL games on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna be. If the sale goes through with Disney, right?
So what are they gonna have instead of having Money in the Bank? They're gonna have, if you climb to the top of the ladder, you're gonna get slimed.
Exactly, like stuff like that. It's gonna be.
But I totally think Vince coming back is the worst thing that could happen to that company.
I agree with you. I don't want Vince McMahon to step foot in that building ever again, man.
No.
Ever
And
again.
if WWE is smart about this, WWE will not allow him back in.
But again, you said they may not have a choice, so we'll see.
They may not have a choice because the problem's going to be when the Raw contract's up and SmackDown contract is up, which I think is next year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That
Fox
may
and Fox and USA expires next year.
That may cause a problem.
But here's the bigger issue.
What?
Here's the bigger issue.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Vince McMahon remains the controlling shareholder of the wrestling organization.
Yeah, he still has, I think, majority of the Class B.
He plans to return to the company to fully eyes on the negotiation.
Whoa. Yeah.
Because you got to realize his ego is massive, and he's getting bored at home.
Yeah.
Because you got to, but Kosta, you laugh about it, but you have to realize something. What's that man done for the last almost 50 years?
Right. Well, quote unquote, contribute to the wrestling world. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I know it's
now.
But
here's the interesting part about this whole thing. It's not just him coming back.
Yeah, it would be John Laurinaitis. Yeah.
No.
Who?
Yeah, I heard it's 2 executives. Apparently,
he's asking to be reinstated as executive chairman of the board of the publicly traded company, along with the chair seats of former WWE co-president Michelle Wilson and George Barros.
Ew.
Yeah, those two names were brought up a lot during the whole Hush Money thing.
I know.
They were brought up big time.
Oh God. Oh,
Hey, I still hope they get rid of the bucktooth guy who runs TV, Kevin Dunn.
Well,
the move would require 3 existing members to vacate their board seats.
Oh shit!
The board previously rebuffed an attempt from McMahon to return to the company, but he retains the majority of the voting power.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
It's not gonna. I look at it this way. This is not gonna end well.
Yeah.
No.
This is not gonna end well, and the fact that he even wants to sell the company, to me, you know what this reminds me of, and it's gonna sound a weird comparison.
Except, yeah, right.
You ever see that relationship where you have a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or 2 people who are in a relationship, and one of them, they break up, but one of them becomes so jealous of the other one, they make their life a living hell, stalking them, causing them problems. This is what this looks like.
That's what
it's
he's
almost
going
like,
to do.
It's almost like Vince is sitting there going, well, Hunter, I don't want you to have what I built because of how I got forced out. So instead of me giving you the power that you've had since August, I'm going to pull the rug right under you, take back ownership, and sell the company to Disney.
or whoever. Yeah.
It's gonna Costa to be realistic. It's gonna be either Disney or NBC Universal.
Yeah.
Which honestly, NBC Universal makes the perfect sense.
Yeah.
Where does WWE stream their pay-per-views or premium live events?
Yeah, Peacock.
Yeah, so I think it would make perfect sense to go to.
But who owns NBC?
NBC Universal.
Yeah.
And then it's also the same thing if that's the same company that owns USA Network.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
And Monday Night Raw has been synonymous with USA Network since its inception.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Monday nights, 8 o'clock, you're turn on channel 38 here in New York and put it on. And no, not 38. What am I kidding? 38 is no, is it 38 or 30? No, 38, 39, somewhere in that area. And you turn on and you're
39.
seeing Monday Night Raw. 39, okay. You're turning on, you're seeing Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
But this to me is what the whole thing comes down to, is that Vince McMahon is that jealous ex.
Yep.
And it's almost that if he doesn't want it, nobody else can have it.
You know what I think? I hope. No, I know that we said this is gonna get ugly, and it probably will. But I hope that I hope Triple H finds a way to like calm everything down. I guess
My gut feeling is telling me this: it's gonna get ugly. But knowing how the shareholders feel about it, and knowing how the stock has been going up for them since Vince left, the shareholders aren't going to want to go through with that. And they're the ones who have basically the final say.
I know. So yeah, that's another thing. So we all agree that wrestling has been doing, or WWE has been doing well without Vince McMahon, right?
Yes.
So all you have to do is look at the ratings and look at the numbers and see who's like doing the right thing and who's doing the wrong thing. So
Yeah.
you're right when you say that the majority of the shareholders will not agree with Vince McMahon trying to.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually looking right now. That's why I'm kind of looking down my phone for a second. I'm looking right now to see what right, as of today, the stock ended at $72.15 a share.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
That's what, if you go back 6 months ago, back to, let's say, when did this whole thing break out? Late July?
July, yeah.
The stock back in July, it was as low as, looks like $67 a share.
67. Oh, wow.
So it's jumped.
Yeah.
Close to almost $10 a share in 6 months.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm looking right now. It had a few lows. I'm just looking right here. Unfortunately, I don't know how to read this whole stock thing, so just gotta bear with me on this for 1 second. But it right now, the shareholders would not want to go through with it. Because if you go, hold on, can we go? Okay, if you go year to date, okay.
Yeah.
So going from last January to now, yeah, it was below $69.41 a share. So about $67, what I said before. The fact that now it's over 70, almost close to like $72, $73 in almost a year.
Yeah. That should tell you that Triple H is putting this in the right direction. And
here's the highest it ever was for this company was back on November 23rd.
Yeah, around
The stock at that point was $80.43.
Wow.
Oh, I actually stand corrected. If you go back to January, around this time last year, January 3rd, 2022, the stock was $49 a share.
Oh, shoot.
So in almost a year, it's jumped quite a bit. So the fact that they're making more money now than what they did before, I mean, they announced earlier today that they're going back to England again for another pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yep.
July 1st for Money in the Bank. Yeah.
Vince McMahon would never do that. Vince McMahon would turn around and put Money in the Bank in like Chicago somewhere, or New York, or Boston.
No.
Because Hunter sees the globalization of wrestling.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that the UK is probably one of the most strongest fan bases out there, outside of America.
It is.
And you're not going to capitalize on that? You got to be a fool.
Yeah, they will.
I mean, don't be surprised. I know there was rumblings of them rebranding NXT UK. I think it's NXT Europe is from what I remember.
Yeah, maybe that's when that's going to start. Yeah.
That's all Hunter. That's not none of that was Vince.
I know.
Vince is and I said this before. Vince is so set in his ways.
Yeah.
He doesn't. It's the old saying of your shit doesn't stink if you catch my drift. And in his eyes, wrestling is still what it was 30-something years ago, and it's something that he still thinks Hogan is going to be there and those other guys, and that's not how it works now. Why do you think when Vince was there, you kept seeing the same guys over and over and over again?
Because that's all he was interested in. But
exactly.
Again, that's how it works.
Since Hunter came back, we have seen the Good Brothers come back. We have seen 3/4 of Hit Row come back.
Yeah.
We have seen Strong come back. Wyatt come back.
Yep.
You realize what's going to happen if all of a sudden Vince takes control?
I think Bray Wyatt's gonna actually lose it. Yeah.
Bray Wyatt would probably leave the company.
Yeah.
If Vince comes back.
Yeah, the majority of the people, will probably, yeah.
Because Vince doesn't see him as a superstar.
Which is wrong, completely wrong.
So to me, I think the best way I can phrase it, and I feel like a broken record saying this, is Vince, if you're watching this, don't come back. The fan base will boo. You want to become the biggest heel in real life? Let him do that, and then he'll become the biggest heel no matter what arena they're in. Either be in the Madison Square Garden, the building out in Los Angeles, the Forum, the Astrodome, whatever.
And I'm gonna kind of reiterate what you said, John. But may I have the floor for a few minutes here?
Or right ahead, floor's yours.
Or a minute here. So again, I'm gonna kind of reiterate what John said, but. Vince, again, if you are watching this, listening to this, whatever, we appreciate what you've done for wrestling over the years. But at some point, anybody who blazes a trail needs to learn how to let it go. So, to that I say, Vince McMahon, please let the WWE go. It's in good hands with your son-in-law, Triple H, and your daughter, Stephanie McMahon. Just let things be, man. You've done your thing. You're a legend in the world of wrestling. Just let it go, man. Please, just let it go. Do not come back because you don't want to see the repercussions of what your return will do to your company. Okay?
Kosta, you nailed it right on the head. But last thing I want to say on this, there's a quote that was said in, I think it was one of the Batman movies. You can see yourself becoming the hero, or you live long enough to become the villain.
Yep.
Something along the lines of that, but you know the quote I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
Yep.
That's gonna be Vince McMahon. For the longest time, he was the hero. But does he want to live long enough to become the actual villain?
Well, if this happens, then he probably is. He probably will, yeah.
Carl, do you have any final things to say about this whole thing with Vince?
It's just going to be interesting to see what happens. Stay tuned to our shows every Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And we'll bring you the latest updates. Remember, we're not giving you because we're not journalists. We know everything. Only going and explaining what we see. So can't chastise us for this.
Yeah.
Again, for the people who may not have understood because of Carl's internet, I will reiterate what Carl just said. Folks, we will, if you watch us every Tuesday night on the Around the Rose podcast, which is actually right behind Kosta's head there,
Yep.
the title, we will have the latest for you in this ongoing story because I feel like in the 1+ years that this show has been around, this Vince McMahon story has become the biggest story we've had.
Yeah, because he keeps returning. He keeps sticking his head out and like making himself this center of attention. So if he wants the attention, we'll give it to him. Yeah.
So stay locked in right here. Stay locked into our social media accounts. You can find us on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We'll post any information there. And again, like Carl said, we're not journalists. We're fans like you guys. And what we talk about as far as the story, we're getting from sources who are in the field.
Yep.
And we're just giving you our opinion. You can agree with it. You can disagree with it. That's up to you. Yep. We're just giving you our opinions on it. But if nobody else has anything else to say, I think it's safe to say we can wrap this thing up.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
I think we kind of addressed everything.
Yep.
Guys, any latest
info?
Night. Yep, I was about to say that. Any info that breaks, you can catch us Tuesday night right here on the ATR Network, starting this week at 7:45 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And any breaking news that we have, just like I said before, stay locked into our socials. If you're on our YouTube page, hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. It does wonders for us. While you're on the YouTube page, hit the little bell in the corner to be notified on any future YouTube exclusives like the one you're watching right now. Because, folks, we're at 49 subscribers right now. We're getting somewhere here.
Yep, we're right.
So, guys, that's all I'm asking. It takes literally a second. And like I said, you don't have to watch any of our videos. I mean, we hope you watch our videos. But just subscribe. That's all we're asking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Please do.
Also, support our sponsors and our partners that we have part of the show with us. Doobie Energy, definitely give them a check out. We'll have all that information on our social medias and on the bio of this video below. And like I said, folks, just stay locked in to all your latest wrestling news between the independent scene, WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, you name it. You know damn well we'll have it for you guys every Tuesday night. But until then, guys, stay subscribed. I'll catch you on the next one.
Peace out, guys.